there's something extremely magic about the Piedmont thing. And of course, if you sit down here in Rappahannock County, looking at these hills and this stuff, you can feel it. You know, it's not the Chicago ghetto. It's another whole wonderful part of Americana.
I kind of have taken myself to teaching some younger people. I think that's what it's really all about, right? Is passing on these traditions.
If we don't keep this music alive, then it takes away what's special of this area that we love so much.
John Jackson's whole story is just an amazing thing.
I'll say he was a conduit to the divine.
Some people say the blues are just old and crying. Let me tell you, they're all just lying, 'cause it's the good stuff. It's the good stuff. It's the good stuff. You can feel it down in your soul. Now some people say...
In many ways, it's the music, but it's also the person. He was just this force of nature that when you got in his circle, you were just pulled right in, and you couldn't escape it if you wanted to. And you wouldn't want to. He just had this way of embracing you, and you were automatically a longtime friend.
I got friends get woman. She don't pay me no mind.
A lot of people don't know that he played banjo, you know, and just like Jeffrey Scott, his nephew, he'd play things like Get Along Cindy.
John Jackson was so important because not only was he was a bridge to the past, like his repertoire, you know, playing banjo, things like that, like things that you don't traditionally think of as Black American music anymore. He kept alive as long as he was, and is keeping alive through his legacy.
One of the beautiful things about John Jackson's music is if you want to hear a song performed in a way where it emphasizes the heart, the essence of the musicality of the song itself, hardly anyone does it the way that John Jackson does.
He could go anywhere. You know, he went all over the world playing his music. I'm always amazed that people in Germany and the UK, they're familiar with all of these early blues artists that in some ways Americans take for granted. They see them for the jewels that they are.
When you listen to John Jackson's voice, it's very real, it's very authentic. It's almost like he's talking just as much as he's singing, and the conversational component is the piece that draws you in. And John Jackson is like the quintessential singer that draws you in and pulls you close.
John was also just a really fine musician. There are very few people, guitar players, who can do something like West Coast Blues, one of the classics by an artist named Blind Blake, and John could.
John Jackson was an inspiration to everyone he met. He was such a warm, welcoming person, and you know, there's just a glow about him. Just a wonderful guy.
Phil affected us in that same way. This legacy. I did not meet John Jackson, but everything I know about John Jackson is really from Phil. You know, and they had a lot in common, just a, you know, a complete gentleman.
One of the most special things about playing with Phil Wiggins was how generous he was. He was really a generous spirit in his music. He gave everything he possibly could to the audience. He gave everything he possibly could to his band members. He left nothing for himself and really gave it for everybody else.
There were some songs that he played on the harmonica that no one has ever tried on the harmonica before. Phil could make sounds on the harmonica that I've never heard anybody make. He could get music to come out of that nobody else could. And in my mind, when he passed, he was the best harmonica player in the world.
He wasn't bound by genres. he talked a lot about, like, you know, you let the ethnomusicologist decide if it's if the musician was a songster or a bluesman or what, like all the various things. He just liked good music. He was all about the music itself. And it's not often that you find someone with his experience and also his notability in specifically playing Piedmont style blues, just being that open to all types of music, all types of genres, and he was always bringing that into the group.
Roberta, where are you? Can't you hear me call? Well, I'm 1,000 miles away from home with my back against the wall.
This music, well, all of this, you know, Piedmont blues, all the other Appalachian music, country, old time, I mean, that is America. That is the synthesis of who we are, and it just has cross-pollinated, and it's American music.
It's all this incredible music where everybody's hearing and stealing, not stealing, but borrowing all these elements. You wouldn't have rock and roll, you wouldn't have jazz, you wouldn't have nothing without that magic happening in America.
It is very important to keep this music alive because in my mind it's the foundation of so many other things and so many other genres of music.
Well, again, it's the prime source for American music. It's where all the different cultures kind of come together. Essentially just this mishmash of everybody, however they managed to get here, they were here.
The thing about this music is that it's an exciting music. Like, it brings such joy and excitement to me. It's the most exciting music that I've ever heard, and that's why I love playing it.
It's important because it also represents really a vulnerability and a realness, right? There's not a lot of things happening in production, post-production with this music. It is the musicians, their instruments, their voices, and their songs. And there's nothing covering that up.
I'm going down to the bottom, the old place where I better know. 'Cause you ain't done nothing but got a good man from home.
The skill level that it took to do that music, John's realm, and then Blind Blake, and all these blues guys in the 20s that were really unbelievable guitarists. And all those guys were playing cheap guitars. So you had a $7 mail order guitar, and sit down and get the sounds out of that guitar that they did was just truly remarkable.
You know, the dirt and the earth of it is not known. And when people, you know, they come here, this might be the first time they come here, and they go, I didn't know this music existed. And they're totally floored by it.
So you keep the music alive, and it's really up to us to do that. And I think that's an important calling, because this is American music. This is our heritage. We want to make sure this keeps living on for future generations.
But I want to show you something that's really cool in this tune, right? Because it's just C, F, and G, right? Try throwing the third in there, and E7.
Okay.
Right?
That sounds pretty.
Right? Does that? It just opens up the tune a whole lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
This generation is not aware. Their parents may not even be aware of this music. So I was like, grow them from the ground up.
That's the key, is just making sure that the kids are at least even getting exposed to it. You know, I think about how I got started playing harmonica, and I saw a guy literally on the street playing. So you never know, when and where you might be that inspiration.
The community was the part that actually got me first. And this group of loving, caring, open people willing to share the height of their craft and the finest of the things that they know is a unique experience. And I think that's actually the way that you continue to spread it. It's like you nurture the community, other people will experience it and they'll love it too.
And thankfully there are a lot of people who are eager to learn how to play it, regardless of where they are in their musical journey, skill-wise, whatever, beginner, intermediate, or advanced.
I found out when you're teaching, whether it is a kid or adult, either one, when you see that light come on, when you're trying to explain something and you see it come on, and that is the most incredible feeling.
We want the kids to know the origins of the songs, where they came from, why they're important to this kind of music. It keeps old traditions alive from the region where we are, like right in the heart of Appalachia. It's just good to keep that going.
I think it's the way that the music is shared with the Piedmont tradition that is so important. When I think of where I learned songs and traditional sound, it's in these sort of more intimate settings. It's on a front porch, it's at a house party, and I feel like John and all the other Piedmont greats, that's where they shared their music.
I look at it from, I'm passing down the stuff that I got from others. I would take nothing for the time that I spent with those old guys.
Inclusion is one of the biggest things. That's how I got involved. I shared a song with Andrew. He shared it with Phil. I got invited to Augusta. And now I'm like, this is amazing community.
That community really is what ensures that this music gets passed along, is harboring that community and really making it very welcoming.
How do I try to pass this music on? Well, I give my best performance when I go out. I talk about the music when I play. It doesn't matter where I'm at, in a club setting, in a house concert setting, or even at a festival. I'll go out and press the flesh, and and I learned that from John too. John would give you his time.
I knew a preacher man, he preached the Bible through and through.
Every once in a while when I'm playing, even sitting around the house or on stage, you hit a lick. And I remember the moment that I learned that. I remember who I learned it from. I remember the time that was going on. And sometimes on stage, I swear they're standing there with me. I can feel them there, and when you're passing that on to a kid, I feel like I'm a little bit immortal.
Oh, I'd like to build a castle on a mountain so high so I can see my true love every time she passed by.